Hey friends, Kevin here, and I told you that the next video was going to be one of me showing exactly the steps I do when I'm inspecting a vehicle. And that video, unfortunately, is taking just a little bit longer to make than I thought it would because I'm having to put together pieces from several different places. So trust me, I am working on it and it is coming. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit today just about the different places to buy vehicles again between dealerships and private parties and what have you. Now, of course, like the last video showed, you can save a lot of money on a comparable vehicle, the van that you're going to use for van life, whether it's a minivan or cargo van or whatever it happens to be, compared to going to the dealership. That even what we had as an example, there was the potential there to save a couple of $1,000s. So the question that comes up is, what do you actually get for that couple of $1,000s extra that you may be paying to a dealership for that vehicle? Car salesmen aren't going to like this video. Look, I have no problem with dealerships. I have no problem with a lot of car salesmen. Just like anything else, there's good ones and bad ones. Dealership owners, there are good ones and bad ones. And they have overhead that they have to pay for. Sometimes that overhead is awfully extreme. I don't care about lounges with leather recliners and different things like that. That doesn't impress me. That's a waste of money. But let's get to the real part of this, which is how this actually works. Most of these dealerships, and this is something that kind of started back in the 90s, somebody jumped on the bandwagon and then everybody else followed along. And it started out, it was a 109-point inspection. Then, of course, the competition had to do 115 and the other competitor had to do 121. And they threw all this stuff out there and it sounds really great. You can trust this vehicle because it's been through this 100 and yada, yada, yada point inspection. Except they don't really show you the checklist of what this inspection is really going to encompass. And just because an inspection was done doesn't always mean that the repairs it needs was done. So here's reality from most places. If it makes you feel better buying from a dealership, that's fine. But as far as this inspection process that they're promising you, I can guarantee you that most of that time with that van will be in the hands of the kid that's cleaning it rather than a real mechanic that's doing any kind of inspection. If they've got a low enough mileage vehicle, right model year that meets their criteria, they think they can make money on, and it doesn't seem to have any serious problems, they're going to put it on their lot. Anything else, they're just going to sell it off to somebody else who has just as good, if not better, chance of actually putting a few dollars in it to fix it, to make it roadworthy, to make it, to make it top notch. So just because a dealership chooses to outsource a van to one of the used car dealers in town doesn't mean necessarily that there's anything wrong with it or anything that they couldn't have handled. It's just a volume business, and that's all they're shooting out, and that's all they're dealing with. But they're going to spend a lot of time cleaning that vehicle, washing it, vacuuming it out, making sure all the previous owner's junk was out of it, things like that. Yeah, they're going to run around it and test to make sure the lights work, that none of the turn signal lights and stuff are messed up. If it doesn't throw a quick engine code, at that point, I guarantee they are done with it. That is the end of their thing. It may get an oil change, and what it will get is a new set of tires, because they want you to walk on their lot and they want you to see that pretty thick new tread on the tires. However, it's a numbers game, it's a volume game. They're looking to save money, and quite honestly, they're going to put the very cheapest pair of tires, set of 4 tires on there that they can find, that they can get by with. Which is a shame because they're going to spend $240 on a set of crap tires when $300 would have gotten a set of good tires. They're not going to spend that extra $60 for you. They're not interested in quality. They're not interested in ride quality or longevity of those tires or anything else. They're just interested in that first look, that first glance, that first impression it makes when you look down and you see that A shiny new set of tires on the vehicle. Some of them may go a step further, but in all honesty, most of them won't. They're probably not even going to open it up and look at the air cleaner. I have seen vehicles. Talk to anybody else that has an experience. They have seen vehicles that people have bought or they have bought themselves that have gone through one of these extensive dealership things, and they take it home a week later and somebody decides to open it up and look at the air filter, and there's leaves and dirt, and they didn't even bother changing the $15 air filter, probably because nobody bothered to look at the $15 air filter. So again, whether you should or choose to buy from a dealership, that's up to you. There's nothing wrong with making that decision. The only thing I want to point out to you is not to be completely overconfident in the fact that you're buying from a dealership or you're buying from a trusted used car lot, and whatever they're promising on that big multi-point inspection, it just really shouldn't breed that much confidence in you. And I can tell you, and part of why I'm doing this upcoming video with this checklist in it, I can tell you that I run down and I go through the same things when I'm dealing with a dealership on a late model vehicle, of which I have bought many. I go through the exact same thing I do as I do buying one of these less expensive vans for a van life, or a vehicle from a private party that may have a few more miles on it or whatever. And I guarantee I have caught things wrong at the dealership when I was buying a vehicle that only had 40,000 miles on it and was a couple of years old. Things that I would make them fix before I bought that vehicle that still yet is as is. Now, there's a few of these places that may put, again, a 3-month, 3,000 mile warranty or something on there. But again, they're going to jack the price accordingly in order to cover that. So some place that offers that, I can almost guarantee you're going to pay more than a place that doesn't. So you're really not getting anything extra from your money. But I have found various problems when I have been test driving these vehicles that were supposed to be through these 100+ point inspection processes. So again, it's just something to think about, something to understand how the industry works. If you want to buy from the dealership still yet, that's fine. It gives you a little more confidence, makes you happier, that's fine. It's your money. There's no wrong choice because it's your money. If you want to save a little more of your money, then private party or a friend of a friend or whatever is going to be a better choice for you. Regardless of where you choose to buy your next vehicle from, same applies to cars, trucks, sports cars, anything else, as it does these camper vans we're using for van life. But even if you don't think you have any mechanical knowledge, I guarantee you this checklist I'm going to have you go through and these things I'm going to have you look for are going to be able to eliminate a lot of problems. You're going to have a lot of knowledge that you may not even think you have right now. So I hope you'll find that useful. I'll get it out as fast as I can when I'm happy with the way that it comes out. You may see some other van travel stuff in here in the meantime, but I'm really looking forward to getting that checklist video out. We'll talk soon.